Saturday recruiting update here for everybody. Texas coaches were on the road Thursday and Friday after getting through the portal window, getting the roster pretty much taken care of, except for now portal additions in the spring. All the early enrollees have moved in. Then the Texas staff hit the road. They were a little bit behind. The dead period lifted on January 5th. Obviously, Texas was still in the playoffs. So the on-field staff had not had a chance to get out and start seeing 2026 kids, make sure they could get kids to campus for the junior day and extend a few new offers, which is what we're talking about today. It started Thursday with the Texas staff on the road. About 4 or 5 coaches got on the same plane, flew out to California, took a look at some 26 kids, a few 27s like Mark Bowman, the tight end at Mater Dei, who could reclass to 26. Texas was seen at Orange Lutheran, Mater Dei, St. John Bosco, some area schools such as that on Thursday. One new offer was Cody Green, the Oregon commit, the right tackle for Mater Dei. Kyle Flood made an in-person evaluation there and offered him. Also went to see Samuel Utu, offensive lineman at Orange Lutheran. Texas made a couple of offers out there to younger kids, a 2027 corner at Junipero Sierra, a 2028 edge tight end, monster of a kid at Orange Lutheran. So Texas taking a look at those younger kids while also evaluating 2026s. So there was one new offer on Thursday the 16th. Fast forward to Friday the 17th, and there were 2 offers made in the 2026 class. Of note. 2 offers made, both of them of note, obviously. And we're going to start with Trent Henderson, the edge prospect out of Pensacola Catholic. So back in the state of Florida, the Texas staff is in the 2026 class. Here you see Trent Henderson coming off the edge here for Pensacola Catholic, about 6'4", 225. A guy that's been offered by most of the top programs in the country: Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Florida State, Miami, you name it, Auburn. All the top programs in the Southeast region, Tennessee, have offered him. He's a guy that Texas had been watching for a while, made the offer on Friday as they continue to look for edge targets in the 2026 class. And the in-state edge targets, there's may not be as much depth as there's been in some recent classes of that position. And this is one of the best in the country, ranked in the top 50 to 60 prospects in the country, as high as top 15 by some services. But long arms, big hands, can really close on the footballs, got really good range, can chase the ball, can pursue the ball from hash to sideline. So just a guy that he's a really elite edge prospect. We have not heard yet if he plans to visit Texas, but Texas will be working to get him on campus either for that January 25th junior day or later in the spring. So that was one of 2 offers. And while we continue to watch Henderson here, I'll talk to you about Chase Calicut. There was an offer made at safety at North Shore High School. Chase Calicut's been popular with college coaches during the season. He picked up a number of offers, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, others during the season at North Shore. Texas's Terry Joseph was by North Shore High School on Friday, extended an offer to Chase Calicut, one of 3 safeties we're really watching in the state of Texas right now in this 2026 class. And we're going to get into the other 2 in a second. But Chase Calicut, 6'3", 190, 195. He may or may not stick at safety long term. I saw him. I posted photos on ontexasfootball.com and on my Twitter feed from earlier in the season when I was by North Shore. He is a big frame kid, Chase Calicut. I'm not sure. Here's some junior clips of Calicut. I'm not sure he actually sticks at safety long term. He could be a guy that ends up being a linebacker. He could be 6'3", 225-pound kid who could rush off the edge, playing an outside backer. So Chase Calicut, though, offered by Terry Joseph in Texas yesterday, and they're going to work to get him the junior day. The other 2 safeties, while we watch Calicut, that I'm going to talk about in 2026 right now, are in the DFW area. And Texas is planning. Blake Gideon should be up to see those guys next week. It's Aaron Bradshaw at North Crowley, same high school as John Turntine, the 5-star 2026 offensive line target for the Horns. Aaron Bradshaw, 6'3", 185, had a big junior year for North Crowley, plays the ball in center field really well, good athlete, a lot of upside. The day I was by North Crowley last 2 weeks ago, around the college football semifinal game, Oklahoma, Pittsburgh, Missouri, you name it, they were all coming through. They were talking to Turntime. They were talking to Aaron Bradshaw as well. So Aaron Bradshaw, safety, 2026 from North Crowley. He's flying up boards right now. We'll see if Texas offers him in person next week. Then there's Donovan Webb at Panther Creek as a safety in-state in 26. This is a position where guys have kind of risen this year. Donovan Webb, he probably had the best junior season of all these safeties we're talking about. He may translate best to the safety position. Reminds me frame-wise of Andrew Makuba. Talking about Donovan Webb at Panther Creek, teammate of and good friend of Jalen Lott, Texas legacy and a top Texas target. But Donovan Webb, a guy that was offered by Ohio State, Oklahoma, Kansas State, where his father played baseball, just offered him on Friday. Michigan offered him the day I was there 2 weeks ago. So another top safety. I think Donovan Webb's going to be a top 150 type player in the country. In that 26 class. So Texas will be up looking at him next week. Some other stops while we watch Chase Calicut, the 2026 safety from North Shore. Some other stops by Texas. Johnny Nansen made the trip out to the home state, Hawaii, on Friday to take a look at one of the top offensive linemen in the country who may be out to visit Austin here coming up either January 25th or in February. So 3 West Coast offensive linemen, along with the in-state guys who are really talented in this 26 class. There's 3 linemen out west that Texas really likes, and that's Sam Utu at Orange Lutheran, who plays tackle as well as plays volleyball. And then there's the offensive lineman Cody Green at Mater Dei, who's an Oregon commitment who Texas offered Thursday, and the Texas is working to get him on campus. Then big Malachi Lee, I believe Malaki Lee, out in Honolulu, who's Texas looking to get on campus as well. So there are 3 big trips to see offensive linemen out west Thursday. This next week coming up, let's preview this a little bit. We have January 25th, Junior Day coming up. So next week on the road is a big one for the Texas staff. And the kicker with this is they're going to be battling weather in the Houston and Dallas area, already working from behind time-wise. Now they're going to be battling some weather in Houston, Dallas. I don't think we'll have schools, and schools will be open on Tuesday in the Houston area, so that can mess with some plans. But on the docket up in DFW this week, we know for Kyle Flood, just talking to kids, John Turntine, offensive tackle, 5-star at North Crowley, Toa Katoa, the 4-star guard at Euless Trinity. Kyle Flood was in the Houston area Friday and saw Nicholas Robertson, the 4-star guard from Klein High. Also up in Dallas is Zayden Crimpin, a center guard from Prosper, 4-star prospect. That Michigan recently offered, Max Wright, who everybody's offered that's come through, the big tackle at Melissa in the 26 class, and then a couple of younger guys as well. So we know Blake Gideon will be up there looking at safeties. We know Kyle Flood will be in the DFW area looking at those top offensive linemen and showing face to and making in-school or in-home visits with those guys. And then we'll see Kenny Baker, Jamion Winfield, the stud defensive tackle at Richardson High, the junior, one of the best in the country. He's going to elevate himself, I believe, to a top 35 prospect in the country. He's at A&M today for Junior Day. Texas is working to get him on campus on the 25th. He's originally from Meridian, Mississippi. Is going to be one of the top D linemen in the country, moved into the DFW area in July of 2024 and played at Richardson High this year. Then Tashard Choice and Kenny Baker expected in Atlanta area next week and in the state of Florida as well. The reason, obviously, in the Atlanta area is Tyler Atkinson, the 5-star linebacker at Grayson, who Texas will go by the school. They'll make an in-home visit with at some point next week. And then one of the top running backs on the board as well for Tashard Choice, Amari Latimer at Sandy Creek, Tyrone, Georgia, outside of Atlanta area. Amari Latimer, JV Osborne at Forney, which Choice will get by to see. Just had a welcome the new baby to the family, so congrats on that. And KJ Edwards at Carthage. He'll be making his rounds to see those guys, but Texas will be in that Atlanta area. Then they'll be in Florida. Chris Jackson will be in the Atlanta area and in Florida next week as well, seeing Aaron Douglas, the Texas A&M wide receiver committed Douglas County there in Douglasville, Georgia, getting down to Jacksonville, Florida to see Naeem Burrows, the speedster wide receiver at the Bowles School. Yep, Texas is back in Jacksonville. They offered another receiver in out of the Jacksonville area. Last year it was Jamie French. This year it's Naeem Burrows, who ran 10.64 fully automatic time as a sophomore. I think based on the tape we've seen this year, and that's translatable track speed to the football field, he'll be running the 4.5s. this spring. So Chris Jackson will be out and about in Georgia and in Florida as well next week. So the Texas staff, this is a big week on the road. They're trying to get guys to January 25th Junior Day. At ontexasfootball.com, we have the running list of confirmations for the January 25th Junior Day. Recruiting as a whole going really well for the Longhorns, as you'd expect. Back-to-back national semifinal appearances, signed the #1 class in 2025, getting a great response. Texas is either whether you want to call it a hot school or back to being a cool school on the recruiting trail. Texas is getting great reception from prospects. When I talk to prospects, they're getting as good a reception as they have in years. Does that mean you're going to get every kid? It doesn't. We're in the NIL day and age. But the Texas staff is really walking into high schools around the state of Texas and in the country and getting great response from kids, from the high school coaches. High school coaches know their players are being developed at the University of Texas. Texas is winning football games. They're about to have double-digit guys drafted second year in a row. So this Texas staff is working from a real position of strength right now. But there were 3 new 2026 offers made at the end of the week. Again, that's Cody Green, offensive tackle, modern day, Trent Henderson, edge prospect from Pensacola Catholic, and Chase Calicut, a safety linebacker from North Shore. I believe we'll see more offers made this week, potentially on the defense. This next week on the defensive line is a real possibility, whether that's in-state or out-of-state. Wouldn't shock me to see a couple other offers go out in the Atlanta area. It could be D-line, could be linebacker, but I expect there to be a handful of offers made next week, potentially as well, as the Texas staff gets ready for that first January 25th Junior Day of this 2026 cycle. AJ Milwee was also at Plantation American Heritage, Florida last week, did an in-home visit with Diabell and his family. Same day Georgia offered Diabell, by the way. Diabell will be in Austin January 25th as well. So, again, just a little Saturday recruiting update. Things are moving right along in this 26th class. First Junior Day coming January 25th. Texas staff busy on the road. Steve Sarkisian was on the road late last week as well. He went to Temple High Thursday to see the edge, Jamarian Carlton, who will be in Austin January 25th for Junior Day. Expect to see Sark on the road next week as well. And probably out of state, maybe up in the Dallas area for sure, then probably out of state as well. Texas staff all on the road next week leading up to this January 25th Junior Day. As always, thanks for supporting On Texas Football, 70,200 plus subscribers. Thanks very much for being a part of this OTF community that's growing so fast. Come check us out on ontexasfootball.com. Join the conversation. Make fun of me, make fun of Bobby, make fun of CJ. Have fun. We're a fast-growing community over there, and we just like to have a lot of fun and around Texas football and recruiting. And, again, thanks for joining in. You guys have a great Saturday.